I had a war in town this week, an effing war. My throat was sore. I didn't even tell you. Usually I tell Gil all my little things because I was told I was allowed to bet something. Yeah, go in. You can come in. Yeah, you can come in and make that bet. I came into the counter and make the bet, and the line manager said, I don't care what my boss said. Oh. You're not getting that bet. Oh. I had a war this week because I was told I was allowed to bet something. I'll tell you the bet. It was the Rams to not make the playoffs plus 180.
Riffing on the Stafford news.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. But it came the same kind of, it came out more that day, but they didn't move. By the way, the line was the same at 3 different sports books on the Rams, not to make the playoffs. But I went to where one of my books that I usually get down pretty good money, and I text the line manager ahead of time, though, to tell him I'm coming in. I'm not betting on the app. Places don't like big bets on the app, or they don't like informational bets on the app. I try to be friendly with everyone and tell you, hey, this is going to happen. Or this, I had a situation 2 weeks ago where someone had the wrong lineup on the game. And I told him, listen, you got the wrong team favorite, the wrong UFC fighter favorite here. That same book had 10 dime limits on their app on preseason. I said, listen, you gave me 2 dimes last year, but I'm just letting you know it's 10. If you want 10, I'm going to bring some more money in. But it's 2. He goes, oh my God, thanks, Krack. That stuff helps you long term. Well, just like I'm that friendly with that guy, I had a war with a guy I thought that I was that friendly with because he told me, yeah, go in. You can come in. Yeah, you can come in and make that bet. I came into the counter and make the bet, and the line manager said, I don't care what my boss said. Oh, you're not getting that bet. Oh, I said words that I can't believe came out of my mouth. I didn't know I can even say. I don't curse. I very rarely curse out. I went absolutely. I didn't get mad because I wasn't getting the bet or something situational. I got mad because your boss told you, hey, Krack's coming in. He's going to bet 2 dimes on this, or whatever it may be.
Did you get it eventually or no?
And listen, I did get it. But I had to fight for it. And I literally took the ticket and wanted to rip it up and say, listen, it's not about this. You know what it's worth? Nothing, because 2 other books have it in town. I could have bet them all together. I lost it, Gil. There was a big controversy I haven't got to talk to you about that happened on our show last week. When I tweeted that segment, that first tweet out about that group that contacted me, it was actually in North New Jersey and New York, when they contacted me about betting 5 of them together, how they all got their bets in.
Same IP address?
Yeah, same IP. Actually, I found out now 4 of them were same IP. 1 wasn't. Yeah. But one account was down a couple 100,000 and now is down 80. So they got 120 back. These are big amounts, by the way. So I had some pushback there. About a dozen people of those 100 comments, so roughly I'm going to say 15%. Even on the show when it was repeated, I was surprised at all the pushback by the people. They said, oh, well, of course you shouldn't get paid if you and your buddies bet the same game. Here you have, this is like the Mother Teresa of sports betting. These guys are. These companies will rip your eyeballs out and take your first kid from you, ruin your family, and you guys want to stick up for Sportsbooks now? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
What was the rationale? I don't get it.
They're saying that's in the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions says you can't bet together.
Well, that's designed right for sports books to, if it's I don't know what they're more worried about, like some syndicates doing that, right? Or but like the notion of friends getting together and that being enforced, is kind of ridiculous.
I guess because I said the word 3, 2, 1, go, which really didn't happen in the situation, but I'm used to doing that. The great Billy Walters. That's the way it used to work before these apps, before you could bet on the computers. I shouldn't say computers, but there was a giant phone room. 3, 2, 1. You have Tradewinds, you have Heritage, you have Chris, you have Pinnacle, and everyone had their own book to dial. This is when they were dialing bets, and you would dial it 3, 2, 1, go, bang. All the books would get hit together. So that's why I probably just said that, because I've been around since those things, dinosaurish. So, but I was surprised by all these people that were pushing back and saying, oh, this is terms and conditions. What are you doing? I've been betting for years. And even the pros came at me. So, well, they said they're pros. Oh, I win a lot more money than you think. And that's not right that you guys do that. I said, first of all, it wasn't me. I'd be happy to say it was me.
Right.
By the way, in the past, it has been me. I'm not going to lie. But this situation, I don't have a single dime in this. So it didn't matter to me financially. I just thought that the book in hand, that the guy was down, he was down 210,000. He showed me all of his NFLs throughout the year. I said, please don't send me no more. All of his yearly NFL 5 and 10 and $20,000 bets. Lose. But he's had winning weeks. He won 50, 60,000 one week, but he lost overall 210,000. Got back 120, and him and the rest of the guys are not getting paid. And they're getting ghosted by the sportsbook. But these people that are under, by the way, maybe the answer is this. They're under anonymity on a computer, on Twitter, and on YouTube in the comments. They're the ones that are saying, well, of course you shouldn't get paid. 5 guys bet together the same side. Are you crazy? Of course you shouldn't get paid. It's in the terms and conditions. I don't get it. I don't get, this shouldn't. There's so many things in terms and conditions. Do you think people read that? Anyone ever see Willy Wonka? Remember Willy Wonka when the kids came in, they had to sign the board and it was bigger and it got smaller and smaller and the father said, don't you dare sign that Veruca. I'm signing it, Daddy. And they signed it. That's there's so many terms and conditions and it's all to protect them. Basically, all of the sports books terms and conditions, at any time they could say, we're not paying you. They can find a reason.
Well, right. But what was lost at what you just said is when they were $210,000 down, nothing happened. It's the 120 back that all of a sudden it became an issue.
Yes, because and the other accounts were up money though. The other accounts just did win some money. I think one was down, but 3 of them won. And they're not paying them. Well, right now we're gonna see. I think these kind of things help them though. So maybe there's a little bird dog in there for the K-Man. No, I'm joking, but but
for the K-Man. Let me ask you a question about the Vegas specifically, and 17% down in terms of July to July. There's all kinds of reasons, right? People just don't want to be in an inferno for getting price gouged in the middle of a summertime. There's other factors, though, as well, right? Obviously, with sports betting, everybody's doing it on their apps, and maybe all these years into it, the notion of coming to Vegas and making bets in person. The other big one that was thrown out the other day is that the younger generations don't drink as much as older generations.
Interesting.
Which I think is a broader problem for Vegas moving forward in the future, right? That they would have to sort of reconsider things if that is, in fact, a generational trend. And my question to you is, do you think we will see this bleed into football season?
No.
Or is football season the panacea, or is football season back to normal?
Here's the reason why I say no. I jumped on that train very little in the beginning about, the year over year because of the resort fees, because of parking prices. Who has to? My father, he would not go to a casino if he had to pay to park. Right. He wouldn't go. He's just not going. He's going to a local joint. So, but that, you see these numbers down. You see the, like you said, I didn't hear 17, I heard 11 or 12, but sorry, 17%. Yet the gambling numbers weren't down. The gaming revenue was not down for July.
They still made money on baseball.
Still made money betting. Yeah. The gaming numbers, some of them were higher than ever. I'm talking about even the casinos, craps, blackjacks, machines, those numbers were still high. So I see that, and I say to myself, the true hardcore gamblers are still here. Maybe some of the non-gaming revenue people left over the summer for many reasons. There's so many different reasons, even political reasons or whatever. So, but I think they're coming back for football, Gil. I think football's back. I think these contests are going to be, you got between here and Westgate, you have some sick contests this year. I think they're all going to be back. They're all going to be overflowed. I think that this Survivor, it may get who knows, a lot more than the minimum. And I think it's great. I think it's great for the town. In general, I think we're okay as a town.
Aaron Glenn comes out, says they're playing the starters.
Yes.
The Jets are.
Yes.
So we see a brief move in the Jets' direction.
Kelly sent me the text live on the show. Aaron Glenn said that's why the game went from 2 down to pick minus 15 or even -1, -05, meaning it was Green Bay favorite. Now, that could have been an easy setup because it's really easy to set. Listen, if this doesn't take the amazing Kreskin, you can bet Circa and bet maybe a Chris or a Pinnacle, or all you all you have to do is bet Circa. So my account is forget it. It's so hot. It's like morphine. So you get an immediate jolt. I bet, and they're going to move 2-3 points. Westgate, 2-3 points. So all I do is give them a bet on the wrong side, which I haven't done, so I'm not saying that. They're going to move, and then what happens? Everyone that's line managers and sports books across the world, not just Vegas, not just the United States, the world is told, when Circa moves, you guys move. So you can literally manipulate the line, and that is obviously what happened there. Even though that Aaron Gillette said that, well, Green Bay is also playing their starters. So, and their Green Bay starters are probably a lot better than the Jets starters. So that's why tomorrow, watch what happens tomorrow. This will become a play when the first half line comes up tomorrow. Green Bay will become a play. And God forbid you can get a quarter, first quarter. And God forbid you can get teasers. There's so many opportunities for things. Now, there really is no teasers that you can get. If you have a sports book that, perfect example, if you have a sports book that takes a teaser, I know we're all over the place back and forth here, guys. I apologize. But like if you have a sports book that takes teasers, there are places, there are some places, maybe in far off places, that you should be, betting certain teasers around the low totals. I was trying to look at the teaser, I can't find it. It's going to be maybe the Carolina-Cleveland game. I think it's one of the low totals. If you can bet like Carolina on a 6-point teaser when the total's 32, or the opposite way on a lot of these, I usually don't bet teasers to 10.5, or if you could bet like a 6.5 point teaser with, I picked the lowest total. Green Bay, Detroit, Atlanta, 32. Boy, if you can see a total that's 32 and you could tease a side to plus 10.5, well, obviously it's, you have a good chance of winning that. But the problem becomes now, the teaser prices, these sports books have all adjusted. I cannot play a teaser in this town because it's the teaser juice is too high. I think DraftKings is one of the best. Imagine I have to give DraftKings credit, but I am. I think the DraftKings teaser price is very good compared to anywhere.
It was last year too
in Vegas.
Yeah.
But going back to what Kelly texted me, and then the major line move came because a syndicate group went out on the Green Bay Packers after they heard Kelly. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but just situational. That's what happened there. And you can see these line moves are crazy, but
the other one we talked about earlier, Kelly got the Cincinnati Bengals minus 3.5 when the first half line came out. That's 6 everywhere now, first half.
Did he get that line?
He did.
And it's funny because we talked about DraftKings having that earlier when I came on air. DraftKings still had that first half line at minus 3.5, and as we see here, 3.5. I just refreshed. How can they have that? You want to complain about you throwing people out?
Still 3.5 at DraftKings?
Yeah, first half 3.5. By the way, minus 6, minus 15 at a couple books here in town. I mean, to be real blunt, that's a middle. I don't middle things, but it's a first half. It's tougher to middle first halves than full games. Now, I would on key numbers maybe, but this is 3.5. 4 is a live number. 5's dead. 6, yeah, maybe it could land on the side. But anyway, for me, it'd just be a bet. I'm not middling anything there. Same thing with their Colts, minus 3.5, minus $1.12. As you can see, it's minus 4, minus 31, or minus 4.5, minus 20. That's just a bet it, reset, and go to the next one. So there's a couple bets that are mathematically, if you have DraftKings, they're definitely worth playing.
I cannot believe that DraftKings first half is still at 3.5.
Still there.
3.5 on Cincinnati.
Refresh it again.
Everybody else at 6.
Pull down.
And as Kelly pointed out, with the money, you just
the Colts 3.5 and Cincinnati still 3.5.
Just arb the money lines.
But, money lines, yeah.
But you then said if you bet it, they're gonna kick you out.
If you bet it, they're probably if you bet both of them, and they one of the traders sees it, you're gonna get limited. Yeah, you're gonna get limited.
How about just betting it? How about just betting it?
100%, but you're gonna get limited to.
How about just betting it in a conservative fashion, not going crazy?
No, then you're not gonna.
Okay,
if you're gonna bet, if your average bet
is
$100,
yeah,
and you bet that same 100 on these two,
they're not gonna do anything to you,
providing the trader doesn't get like, oh, this guy's betting these two. I know a lot of people, not just picking out DraftKings. There's many sports books. We just talked about one.
This is the biggest thing.
That the trader says, oh, put that account limited, and they don't realize the big picture. The guy loses every year betting NFL, betting college, betting. He loses. However, he got these two lines because he heard about it on a numbers game.
I've said this before on the show. I'll say it again, which is, your sportsbook experience now, I'll just use here in Las Vegas, your sportsbook experience when you go to the desk sometimes, when you go to the window, is often based on the mood of the supervisor that day. And
I never heard no one say that like that. That's spot on. It's based on the person
who you get
in risk.
Yes,
their mood.
The person in risk,
which is never going to be good because they all wish they could be bettors like us.
No, but sometimes
I hate to say it. Not all of them,
you get lucky.
A lot of them.
Sometimes you get lucky, and the person's like, "Yeah, sure."
Listen,
I always go up there now and I'm like, it's not going to win. They should take it. Come on.
That's right.
You're right. Just goad them into it.
That's the sales talk.
But this isn't going to win.
However,
come on.
Yeah, just call yourself. Listen, I'm a chicken chow mainer. That's all you got to do. But honestly, we talked about it earlier. I talked to a big director in town here last week, and I said, listen, your traders shouldn't get upset. You shouldn't get upset that a Bill Krackomberger's betting something, or if Steve Fezzik, or even Gil with tennis. They shouldn't get upset and say, that son of a bee, they're trying to get over on us again. Be happy. Take a nickel or a dime. And by the way, start betting it yourself. If we're so good with our 2% edge, 3% edge, have the heart and the stones to bet it yourself. And guess what? I know for a fact a lot of the traders in this town do bet. Good for you. Just don't get in my way. And that means if I bet something at Caesars, I use Caesars. I'm not even allowed to bet. All right, let's use it though, because that's where it happened before. Bet it at Caesars. I don't want to see Circa moving 30 seconds later, or 5 seconds later, or Westgate moving 5 seconds. That happened. That happened in the past, and I'm not meaning to just. It didn't. It happened at more than Caesars, but I'm just picking them out because that's where I'm thinking about the last time it happened. But you should bet. You should have a small account on your own. Play with the Coast Casinos, Boyd, Coast Casinos. PlayStation's casinos. They don't move. They don't move instantly. So I have no problem with you playing them. Or whatever. I know you guys are playing with some local guys too. Play them. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Caesars. A lot of these other places, though, I don't mean to pick on Caesars, but they're easy to pick on. If you're a CEO or someone with your nice fancy college degree and you're not used to giving speeches, hire someone that gives speeches. Hire a speechwriter or hire someone to be your front guy for speeches. So they closed a lot of these lounges at Caesars nationwide.
Yeah.
That back east they have the greatest 7-star lounges. Harrah's, Caesars is okay. They just went to a buffet one rather than you order off a menu for free for your top echelon people. But they closed the lower level lounges. And a lot of people are upset. They closed them. They even closed the diamond lounges where you used to go. You used to get some hot food. Well, now they maybe give you some peanuts, but now they even closed them. So the CEO, the guy that's at the top of the chain that has that nice college degree, making millions of dollars a year, he says, you don't need to lose. You can't have nothing, but you don't need to lose money. Certainly near as much as this industry has lost feeding people. So he's saying he lost money feeding people. Well, if that was the case, South Point might as well close the doors because they lose millions $1.5 million a month feeding people. They just it's a loss leader. That's what he says at his Caesars properties. We don't want these lounges. Ready? The next line. This is the next line where the board of directors and the stockholders, if they've seen this.
It's amazing.
God forbid they stop at McDonald's on the way home. This is the CEO of the company.
So this is exactly dovetails into what I was saying earlier, which is, remember Vegas used to be the place where people go because they could have a bargain vacation, $2 buffets. Right. Remember back in the day, right?
Right.
The corporations have completely turned that on its head, and this guy is so tone deaf as to say the quiet part out loud.
Honestly, that's you. This is why I'm a street guy. I talk street terms. I can't put things into these words like Gil does. That's exactly right. What Gil said is exactly right. You could think that. We know a lot of the directors and the bosses think that.
Right.
You can't say it publicly.
He said it out loud.
He actually said, God forbid they stop at McDonald's on the way home.
You know who also falls into this category? Jason Robbins at DraftKings. Like, I get it. You have a very successful business. You know who's not a good spokesperson for the business? Jason Robbins.
Yeah.
Because he said some things made some ridiculous statements that if he knew any better, like if he had a sense, like, okay, I get you to think that. Why are you saying it?
Thomas Reeg, the CEO of El Dorado, Caesars Entertainment. How can you say that? That he has to regret. Someone had to say to him, "Hey, you can't talk like that in public because the public's going to get insulted by you telling them to stop McDonald's instead of us giving them peanuts." I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
So Fezzik, like I remember Fezzik used to go because Fezzik is Fezzik, right? He used to go to some place at the Cromwell where they had like lots of M&Ms and stuff and all, and he would like brag about coming home with all this free stuff. He doesn't have that opportunity anymore, I guess.
I hate to say it, Mr. Reeg is right about guys like Fezzik. Because he would maximize his four.
That's right.
He would get 4 drinks a day. Starbucks, we used to get 4 drinks a day at Caesars. He would, after going to the gym, go down there and just pile all the drinks into his backpack and get his free M&Ms and everything. And every day he would do it. And then he'd have a refrigerator like it was the end of the world. He'd have everything set up, and guys like him. Sorry, Steve.
That's the only thing that would make that quote sympathetic. If at the very end he goes, because we cannot afford to have 100 Stevie Fezziks.
Yes. Now, if he said that, I would be happy to say it. He just said it because someone told him. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow. The things we get out here.
Bill Krackomberger, everybody.